It's the Legacy Sports Network Game of the Week from Klein Memorial Stadium in Klein, Texas. It's a 15 6A matchup between the Klein Bearcats and the Klein Oak Panthers. And now welcome upstairs, everybody, alongside former Texas Longhorn Ken Moore. I am Michael Silvers. So great to have you with us, Ken. Let's not waste any time. For the Klein Bearcats, they are a desperate team. They have to win all three of their games. A single loss in their next three will spell the end of their playoff aspirations this season.
Yeah, absolutely. The Bearcats come in 2-5 on the season. They've lost 3 in a row here in district play. A must-win here for them tonight, and they may have some much-needed help with the starting quarterback of Klein probably out of this, Klein Oak.
Let's talk a minute about the quarterback situation for Klein. They are now going to be playing their 5th quarterback this season. The 4th starter came up from the junior varsity in advance of last week's loss to Klein Collins. Nick Kohler gets the nod again today.
Yeah, Kohler getting his 2nd start of the ball game of the season here tonight. It's going to be a challenge for him going up a really tough Klein Oak defense, but a defense that they've seen a lot of growing up here in the same area. So he's going to be familiar with that through his film study. We'll see if he can take advantage on the field here this evening.
Quarterback situation, Ken alluded to it just a minute ago. Jose Blankenship, the starting quarterback for the Klein Oak Panthers, is a game-time decision. He hurt himself against Klein Collins, but didn't miss any time. But he's a game-time decision. If he can't go, it'll be sophomore Brandon Blair.
Yeah, and Blair is a dynamic run dual threat option. He can throw it and he can run it, kind of similar to Blankenship, but Blankenship would be a huge loss if he cannot play tonight. He's accounted for over 1,500 yards all-purpose running and throwing this season. If he's out, that's a huge advantage for the Bearcats.
For more, let's go down to the field. Here's Jeff Power.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Yeah, the Klein Bearcats, they opened this school back in 1938 under the name of Klein High School. Klein Oak, 1982, but this has been a great rivalry ever since. Everyone kind of refers to Klein as the old school here, old Klein. But as for the Bearcats, if they want to win, they've got to improve defensively. First of all, let's talk about what they've been able to do on the ground. They've got themselves a great running back, and they've been able to use Chris Howard to their advantage. Here's their win over Klein Forest, 22-21, but it's their only district win so far this year. They have lost 3 straight. Howard's kind of their go-to guy, though, with close to 700 yards rushing. One of his 6 TDs there against the Eagles. But Shane Hallmark will mix it up a bit. They'll go to the air and occasionally throw the ball out of this run formation, but comparably only 750 yards passing with 1,440 yards rushing. As for the Klein Oak Panthers, well, their head coach David Smith's been here for 21 years. He's running that single wing back in 2000. Now they spread it around. Jose Blankenship is their quarterback. He's been dinged up. Again, it's a game-time decision, and it looks like Brandon Blair might get the start. We'll have to kind of see how things go. But Klein Oak reached 50 points 3 different times this season. A lot of that has to do with other players stepping up offensively, so it should be a great matchup. It is our Legacy Sports Network Game of the Week. It's Klein versus Klein Oak. We'll be right back with the kickoff.
If you're anything like most Texans, you're always on the go. Good thing First Community Credit Union's mobile app makes it easy to do my banking anywhere, anytime. I have Texans checking, even mobile deposits, and text banking. Join me on the FCCU winning team. Go online today and experience a first-rate difference.
Be a part of the team. Sign up for Texans Checking today. First Community Credit Union, the official credit union of the Houston Texans and personal choice of Brian Cushing.
They need to win here tonight to keep pace with the Lions, who they will meet to wrap up the regular season in Week 10 on November 6th. We talked about it at the top. Klein are in must-win mode. A single loss in any of their 3 remaining games will end their playoff hopes for 2014.
Yeah, Klein in a must-win situation here tonight, and they have revenge on their minds this evening due to Bearcats. They had a 21-3 lead in this ball game last year. Gave up 21 unanswered points in the 4th quarter as Klein Oak came from behind to win that ball game 24-21. So the Bearcats on the far side have revenge on their minds this evening.
Saw a shot moment ago of number 3 for Klein Oak, sophomore Brandon Blair. It's been a game-time decision for senior Jose Blankenship, but he will sit this one out. And the sophomore gets the nod for David Smith, who told us earlier to say hello to his mother. So hi, Mom, from Klein Oak head coach David Smith. Klein won the toss, but they've deferred their option to the second half, and there you see Number 20 for the Klein Bearcats, Kendall Jeffries. He'll be joined by Christian Gutierrez back deep to receive the opening kickoff. Klein going with starting quarterback number 4 here in 2014. Called up from the junior varsity last week before the Klein Collins game. Exceeded all expectations in his first start, as told to us earlier this week by his head coach Shane Hallmark. So we'll get to see what he gets to do first here tonight as we are underway with the kickoff from Marcus Ripley. Taken by Jeffries across the 20, out across the 25 to the 27. And the Klein Bearcats will start up shop on offense first here tonight from Klein Memorial Stadium.
Well, as you mentioned, Nick Kohler will lead them out on the season, 10 of 15, 226 yards, 2 touchdowns, completing 66% of his passes.
A look at the numbers for number 17, junior for Klein. They begin from their own 27-yard line. They'll operate from under center, and on a rollout off the play action, the lefty Kohler fires, and that's complete. Mac Odom at the 36-yard line. Pickup of 9 on the game's first pass play.
Just a little rollout play action to try to get an easy throw for the quarterback on his opening opportunity. You see the big offensive line that'll be protecting him up front, led by Trey Newton, the left tackle, and Danielle Yetter, the right tackle. In the backfield, Abraham Sosa will lead the way in the backfield.
Another pass complete, right side of the field. Travian White, senior, tied into midfield.
2 pass plays, 2 completions right out of the box for Klein as they're going to attack this Klein Oak defense.
Gain of 11 on the pass play.
Just a little snap and go on that one. Defenders playing well off. The quarterback takes advantage.
From the shotgun. And this time the Bearcats will eat it as the Panthers front 4 come in and drop the junior Kohler for a loss back to the 43. Loss of 7 on the play.
And this is a Klein Oak defense. They run a 3-4 alignment. Excuse me, a 4-3 alignment. And they will put a lot of pressure on the young junior quarterback here this evening.
On second down and a handoff. Nope, the keeper for Kohler, and he slips back at the 39.
So 2 positive plays on the first 2 throws and 2 negative plays, 2 sacks back-to-back. Will set up a 3rd and long.
Defensive backs, 5 in the secondary. Changed 2 years ago with the implementation of new defensive coordinator Jason Glenn. The defensive line anchored by sophomore Cody Gardner. And in the linebacking corps, Bart Barati, younger brother of Notre Dame Fighting Irish, Nicky Barati, and Josh Shantz. 3rd down and 22. Screen pass, complete and getting blown up. Christian Gutierrez. Big hit by Bart Barati.
Watch Barati come up out of this secondary to make the big hit. Read the inside screen all the way, delivered the blow. So after giving up 2 completions, the Klein Oak defense rises to the occasion and force a punting situation for Klein.
Loss of a yard on the completion to Gutierrez. Mac Odom to punt it away. After a good start to the drive, the Bearcats drive stalls as Odom with a rugby-style kick kicks it out of bounds as it rolls to the 25-yard line.
37 yards on the punt. Klein Oak will take over their first possession. 9:45 to go here, first period.
There's Brandon Blair. Now, obviously, he hasn't seen a lot of time at the quarterback's position. 354 total offensive yards, only 6 passing yards. He's taken the place of Jose Blankenship, who has thrown for over 1,300 yards and has accounted for 15 total touchdowns. The Panthers will begin from their own 25 and a handoff right up the middle to Derek Durden. Durden will see a lot of time running the football. The offensive line, Matt Posednik is a senior. Chris Jovanovic, not listed as the starting lineup, will see significant time up front. Durden picks up 2, and on second down, it's going to be a keeper for Blair, and he gets stuck for a yard on the loss.
A couple of good defensive plays by that Klein front. As you look at the starting backs and receivers, Austin Davis, the big play guy on the outside for Klein Oak.
Brings up a 3rd down and a short 9. Blair on the play fake will run, and he's going to be tracked down and brought down from behind by Reed Evans on a linebacker blitz back at the 23. A loss of 4, and the Bearcats defense forced the Panthers 3 and out.
An excellent start for both defenses here in the opening moments of this ball game. You see the linebacker blitz coming right up the gut. Quarterback unable to get away. Blair, no success on his first opportunity as the starter tonight.
Marcus Ripley set to punt it away for the Panthers. Christian Gutierrez stands inside his own 45. Low snap, pressure comes, and Ripley just got it off. And from the 40, Gutierrez loses the football as he went down to the turf, but it appears as the ball rolls into Klein Oak territory that the Bearcats have recovered.
36 yards on the punt, 8 yards on the return, but Klein Bearcats have flipped field position. They'll have great opportunity near midfield to begin their second drive of the night.
Another look at the ball coming out from Christian Gutierrez. Fortunately for the Bearcats, they were able to recover and get this started. Now the ball actually is spotted back into Bearcat territory at the spot of the fumble. And under center Kohler on the play fake. Check it, that's a new quarterback, number 1. Launches one deep for Mac Odom, down at the 15-yard line. Kevin Rolliard. He had some time at the quarterback's position this season, but he's been injured. I mean, if you look at this Klein Bearcat team, they have lost 8 starters at one point this season due to injury. Big pass play down to the 15-yard line of 37 yards.
Well, Rolliard is their most effective passer so far on the season, connecting on 58% of his throws. He does have 3 interceptions, but he does have a touchdown. And that was a huge play on first down.
Kohler's going to re-enter now. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Bearcats on the Panther 15-yard line. Handoff right up the middle. Cassius King takes it right back to the line of scrimmage. Good up front pressure. John Parsons leading the way for the Panthers.
Good job that time by this 4-2-5 defense of Klein Oak. No gain on first down, forces a 2nd and 10. Rolliard still in at quarterback. He is a junior.
Rolliard out of the shotgun with King off his right shoulder and Odom in motion. Play fake and Rolliard straight up the middle takes a big hit down at the 9. Gain of 6 on the play.
If you're a quarterback, you don't want to be taking those kind of shots rolling up the middle. You want to get those shoulders down, get square. Make sure you don't take those big hits from those tough inside linebackers of Klein Oak.
This is a Klein offense averaging 312.9 yards per game, 205.7 on the ground. King in the backfield, along with Rolliard on 3rd down and 5. And we have motion. Referee tonight is Mike Massey.
That's our first penalty of the ball game. Clean first quarter so far.
Last week, the Bearcats penalized 5 times for 32 yards in their 42-25 defeat against Klein Collins, dropping them to 1-3 in District 15 6A. Spread formation, Gutierrez to the bottom of your screen. Comes in motion, and Rolliard on the screen to King. to the 10, and down to the 5, very close to first down yardage. Linesman on this side of the field rules him short of the 5. Might require a measurement as we take another look.
Excellent play call. They read the blitz, got it out to the receiver, had a blocker in front, just shy of the first down. So now it's going to be decision time for Coach Shane Hallmark.
It's fourth down and a short yard.
And with your season on the line, they're going to allow them to go for it.
Rolliard takes it over his left guard and muscles his way down to the 1, but extra effort, he loses the football. It is picked up by Josh Shantz, and he takes a knee into the end zone, and it's going to be a touchback. Oh, boy. What a killer, and just unfortunate for the Klein Bearcats.
Well, he had the first down, nearly got into the end zone, did Rolliard, but did not protect the football. Bearcat fans on the far sideline not happy at all with the results of this play, as you see it here. Just coughed it up at the end, recovered in the end zone. While the Panthers, they'll take over first and 10 at the 20.
That was one of the things David Smith told us in our conference call on Wednesday, was just the importance of running defensive drills and taking away the ball. And turnovers have been a key. The Panthers are now a plus 12 in their turnover margin. A gain of 9 for Blair on first down. Second down and short for the Panthers. Keep it on the ground, and it's Derek Durden muscling to the 31 for a first down as we check in for the first time tonight with Jeff Power down on the field.
Yeah, Kevin Rolliard, what a great start for him, for Klein. The unfortunate thing happening, though, with that fumble, as you mentioned, Klein Oak has forced 12 turnovers this year, but that was extremely costly for Klein because they had been moving right down the field through the air, something that we didn't expect to see. Back upstairs.
Handoff again, thanks Jeff. Durden, left side, another yard, maybe a yard and a half to the 32. Durden on the season came in with 91 rushes, 672 yards, 4 touchdowns. He has added 448 receiving yards and another 5 touchdowns.
He is definitely the definition of an all-purpose back, is Durden.
Blair on the rollout. Passes behind the intended wide receiver. Zach Gonzalez, number 47. Got his hands on it, but couldn't haul it in. It's third down and long.
He had Gonzalez wide open coming across the middle. Just a bad throw that time by Blair. Gonzalez tried to go back across his body. You see Blair here rolling to his right. Pass just behind the big fella, couldn't bring it in. Third and long.
From the 32, Blair already in trouble. Scrambles to his right, looking to throw. Pump fake. Blair has a first down over the 45, stays on his feet. Brandon Blair down to the Klein 31-yard line. 37 yards on the improv for sophomore Brandon Blair.
Well, he makes up for the bad throw with a tremendous run. We take a look at it here. Nearly got himself in trouble rolling to the left. Came back to the right with the pump fake. Again, does what he does best. Scoots and motors, slithers his way through the Bearcat defense. Picks up a first down near the 30.
Run by Zach Gonzalez while we're looking at that replay of 3 yards. Second down and 8 from the Bearcat 29. Quick pass complete to the playmaker, Durden. Takes it to the outside and is ridden out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Tyler Petty on the tackle, and another another Panther first down to the 12, a pickup of 17.
Just a quick little wide receiver screen to the far side. They're able to get the playmaker in open space, allow him to make some moves, picks up the first.
First and 10 inside the red zone. Keeper off the play fake for Blair. Can't get it to the edge. He is strung out. And on the tackle, Klein Kyle Halliday, junior. Right back to the line of scrimmage. Now Blair last week in the loss to Westfield led the Panthers in rushing with 52 yards on 7 carries, and he had a 6-yard touchdown to close out the game. Blair on a screen pass. That may have been tipped.
I hope it was tipped.
Trying to find Austin Davis over on the far side, so it's 3rd down and 10 after the incomplete pass.
And that did not come out looking good for Blair on that toss.
So far, the Panthers 50% on 3rd downs as we roll down to 2 minutes remaining and a timeout taken.
This has been a fast-moving first period. Only 1 penalty so far. Very clean ball game except for the turnover by the Bearcats as they were going in for 6.
That was an official's timeout. Durden in the backfield along with Blair as they look to the sideline for the play call from offensive coordinator Jeff Pope. The team averaging 463 yards of offense. Option play, nowhere to go. Chris Howard, who plays both ways for the Bearcats due to injury, drops Blair back for a loss of 1 to the 13.
Great job by Howard that time, coming off the right side, read the play perfectly, drops him for a loss, and it's going to be field goal time for the Panthers.
And so it is Marcus Ripley, who kicked 2 field goals last week of 25 and 21 yards against Westfield. Try to put 3 on the board from 30 yards out. Hold by Blair, the kick with plenty of leg. It's good. 1:23 remaining in the first quarter. Klein Oak score first. They lead Klein 3-0.
McDonald's Dollar Menu just keeps getting better. Introducing the all-new mouth-watering grilled onion cheddar burger, topped with melty white cheddar and caramelized onions. Plus all your tasty favorites for just $1 each. Every day, as always, there's a lot to love for a little on McDonald's Dollar Menu.
Tonight's game is being brought to you in part by McDonald's. I'm loving it. By First Community Credit Union. Think first. By the Texas Renaissance Festival. Lift up your cares. By Mr. Electric. We've got the power to make things better. By Allegiance Bank of Texas. Making a difference together. By Athletic Orthopedic and Knee Center. For over 25 years, excellence is our specialty. And by M&B Tools and Equipment. Quality new and used construction equipment, tools, and supplies. And on the kickoff, a return out to the 27-yard line.
That last drive by Klein Oak after the fumble recovery in the end zone, they go 10 plays, 57 yards, took 3 minutes, 36 seconds off the clock, 30-yard field goal by Marcus Ripley. The Panthers strike first. They lead it 3-0, 1:15 to go in the first.
It's the junior Nick Kohler. Called up from the junior varsity last week and played the Klein Collins game in a losing effort. He starts this series, puts a man in motion, out of the backfield and a pitch. Running back by committee, 2 yards picked up on the run by Kadrick Nelson. Similar in the respect that even with Klein Oak, it's running back by committee. And with Klein as well. Injuries taking their toll on both teams, although the Panthers better situated in the playoff run at this moment in time. Kohler on second down, fires it over the middle, and it's too tall for Christian Gutierrez.
Well, this is a Klein team that coming into tonight, they had rushed the ball twice as much for twice as many yards as they had thrown it on the season. 1,440 yards rushing, only 750 yards passing. Tonight, they've come out with a different game plan to flip the script against their rivals, Klein Oak.
8 injured starters. Lost leading receiver Jack McHugh for the season against the Spring Lions. 5 different quarterbacks. Mac Odom was the original starter at the position, had hand, mouth, and foot disease before the opener. A loss 23-22 against Cy Falls. On third down, pass is complete. Over the middle inside the 40-yard line. in Klein Oak territory as Austin Trammell hauls it in.
That'll get the fans fired up on the far sideline. What a beautiful throw and catch. Right on the money. 1st and 10. Bearcats.
32 yards on the 3rd down conversion. Austin Trammell on the season, now his 4th reception, had 46 yards coming in and a touchdown on the ground. Right up the middle as Nelson takes it down to the 33-yard line, a gain of 6. And that closes the 1st quarter of play. So far, the difference maker, a 30-yard field goal by Marcus Ripley. Klein Oak lead 3-0 after 12 minutes. This is the LSN Game of the Week.
Nothing brings the community together like high school sports. And for the Allegiance Bank team, our partnership with the community is a big deal.
From blood drives to food drives, to even the longest of rides, Allegiance Bankers are committed to making a difference and impacting the local community, providing volunteer hours and rolling up our sleeves as an active and responsible community partner.
At Allegiance Bank, we are your neighbor and your community bank. That's our game plan.
Start of the 2nd quarter as we take you down to the field at Jeff Howard.
And it is senior night here for Klein Oak High School. For those that are wondering, we talked about Klein High School being right here since 1938. Well, Klein Oak been here since 1982. They're the home team tonight. Of course, 4 teams share this stadium right here at Klein Memorial Stadium. But a great crowd on hand for this one and excited to be a part of this one right here at Klein Memorial Stadium.
All right, thanks, Jeff. And taking a look at the 15-6A standings, right now the playoff picture looks pretty good for Westfield, who leads the district with a 4-0 record. Klein Collins and Montgomery each 3-1. Last night's win by the Spring Lions 42-7 over Klein Forest has them at 3-2. Klein Oak 2-2. Decaney and Klein each at 1-3, and Klein Forest now 0-5. Handoff as we start the 2nd quarter down to the 31-yard line, a gain of 2, just a meager gain for Nelson.
Call it back in at quarterback. Saw the excellent throws from Rolliard earlier. In the 2nd period, 3rd down and short. Big play coming up here for the Bearcats. They may be in 4-down territory.
A scrimmage from the Panther 31. Twin receivers to the top of your screen and motion up front. This is a free play. Pass complete to Gutierrez. He is tackled in the open field behind the line of scrimmage. John Parsons in on the tackle, but we'll check the marker with our referee, Mike Massey. It should be going against Klein Oak as they let the play run. Offsides called on the Panthers, which will give the Bearcats an automatic 1st down due to penalty yardage.
First penalty of the night against the Panthers. Each team with 1 penalty now, 5 yards each. But that was a big one against Klein Oak as it's an automatic 1st down.
Panthers were, Ken, Panthers were penalized 12 times last week in their 45-19 loss to Westfield for 120 yards. Shotgun for Kohler, has Nelson behind him in the pistol. Gutierrez in motion. Nelson on the pitch, cuts back, and runs right into junior defensive end Richard Jones. A loss of 3, back to the Panther 29.
Kendrick Nelson, the junior tailback. He's had a couple of open holes earlier in the drive. Closed up that time. It'll be 2nd and long.
Talking with Shane Hallmark, head coach of Klein this week, he said, we have to run the football to set up our passing game. We can't win unless we run the football. And the running game is best for the kids who he fields on this team here in 2014. 2nd down and 13 from the Klein Oak 29. The Bearcats trail 3-0. Kohler on the play action, in trouble, decides to scramble and slides down at the 28-yard line, picking up 1.
See this Klein Oak defense rallying to the football, trying to avoid giving up the big play. They want to keep the Bearcats in third and long situations to put pressure on their young QB.
Offensive coordinator for the Klein Bearcats, Fred Maynard. His passing offense averaging just 107.1 yards per game through 7 games this season. 3 receivers in the lineup from the 28-yard line, 3rd and 12. Pass an intended slant is batted down at the line of scrimmage, so 4th down for the Bearcats on the incomplete pass.
So now you're kind of in that no man's land at the 28-yard line. As you see here, just a quick snap and throw. Big defensive tackle coming up, getting his big paw on it. Looked like big number 90 that time for Klein Oak. There's Josh Fowler getting his big paw up to swat it away.
Kohler was trying to find Austin Trammell. Brings up a 4th down, and the offense remain on the field for Klein. Travian White to the bottom of your screen. Needing 12 yards, Kohler will throw. Fires, and that one I think got tipped to the line of scrimmage as well.
That was Fowler again, big number 90, coming up with 2 big deflections, doing his best J.J. Watt impersonation here tonight on those 2 plays. It'll be a turnover on downs, and the Panthers will take over 1st and 10 at the 28. There you see the deflection, as again they try to attack the left side.
Abraham Sosa on the far side of the field was the intended receiver on the play. The incomplete pass, the turnover on downs, Brandon Blair. In for the starting quarterback this season, Jose Blankenship. Game time decision ruled out by head coach David Smith. A 3-0 Panther lead, 9:38 remaining here in the first half. Panthers begin from their own 28-yard line. Durden on the ground, takes it out to the 33-yard line, a gain of 5.
I love the way this kid Durden runs the football, always keeping his legs churning, always falling forward to get the extra yard.
His head coach David Smith says Durden is a warrior, will even play some at quarterback. We may not see that tonight. Last week he had 6 receptions against Westfield for 93 yards. There's a penalty marker, it's down. Pre-snap penalty likely on the Panthers. Drops him from 2nd down and 6 to 2nd down and 11.
Those are the type of penalties that coaches hate to see. It gets you behind the chains. You had a nice pickup on 1st down. Now instead of 2nd and manageable, you're looking at 2nd and long.
Blair will throw on 2nd down. Pocket collapses. Dumps it off. Durden wide open up the sideline. Pulled out of bounds by Lorenzo O'Green, junior linebacker. The line of scrimmage now the 42. A 14-yard pass play on 2nd down and a Panther 1st down.
Well, Durden just a safety valve over here on the near side. No one covers him. You have to keep a man on number 29. He's the leading ground gainer and receiver for the Panthers.
Durden takes it out to the 45-yard line before being tackled by DeVar Kinsey, senior defensive end for the Bearcats, a gain of 3. And on 2nd down, Blair's in trouble again. Gets a good block by Durden, springs Blair down the sideline, spins close to the 1st down. He may have it at the 47 in Bearcat territory. A pickup of 7, maybe 8 yards for the sophomore, and a Panther 1st down.
What a tremendous play that time by the entire unit. Watch the peel back block there by the big lineman, then another pump fake by Blair. We've seen him do that a couple of times here tonight to get the Bearcats off balance.
1st and 10. Keep it on the ground. This time the handoff to Durden inside the 45. Takes it down to the Bearcat 44, gaining 3 on the play. So far, Blair leading the team in rushing right now. 7 carries. He has called his own number for 49 yards. On 2nd down and 7. Give it back to Durden. Takes it down to the 39-yard line. Tackled by Devon Boyd, senior defensive end.
Klein Oak just attacking now right up the middle behind their big center.
After a gain of 5, Blair on the play fake to Durden. Lunges towards the first down marker, but he's going to be stopped short. LeVar Kinsey leading the way for the Bearcats defensively. Blair just musters half a yard, brings up 4th down.
Big Matt Posdanek, the big center, number 63. He's anchoring this offensive line. So trying to convert on this 4th and short.
Timeout. Called by David Smith and the Klein Oak Panthers. 7:24 remaining in the first half. It's the Panthers 3, the Bearcats nothing.
On May 6, 1985, identical twins were separated at birth. Despite their different upbringings, they shared one invaluable trait. They were both born to assist. Chris Paul was destined to become the ultimate team player. Cliff Paul was destined to lead a life of helping others. And that led him to become a State Farm agent. When assisting is in your blood, you know it. Find a State Farm agent born to get you to a better state.
And on 4th down, Derek Durden takes it for a first down to the 33-yard line.
Another huge play by Durden, running off tackle. Picks up the first down against this Bearcat defense. He'll head to the sideline to get a breather.
6 first downs for Klein Oak here in the first half. They lead 3-0. Zach Gonzalez gets the carry this time, stretches it down for another yard to the 32. Talking with Coach David Smith in our conference call on Wednesday, he knows his team controlled their own destiny. Must win 2 of the next 3 games to reach the playoffs, because they say the minimum win total to reach the playoffs in this district is 4 games. Blair taken down from behind by Chris Howard for a loss of 2. Klein Oak last reached the playoffs in 2011. They missed out last year on tiebreakers.
Great open field tackle by Howard, chasing the quarterback down from the backside.
3rd down. Panthers are 1 for 4 on 3rd down conversions. Durden will line up to a slot on the right side.
Get him matched up one-on-one with a linebacker, it could be trouble.
Blair lofts it over the middle. It's almost picked off. Old Queen.
Well, they threw a flag down, but the ball was tipped. That should not be a penalty unless they're going to call illegal contact after 5 yards.
The officials are discussing. Mike Massey is our head official tonight here at Klein Memorial Stadium for this 15-6A matchup. Let's have another look.
Yeah, watch it here. Ball's tipped there. You cannot call pass interference after the ball is tipped. Now, if they wanted to call illegal contact, which I don't think there was illegal contact either on that play, I think the officials blew that call.
Officials are discussing whether or not maybe that ball was tipped before the contact was made. The penalty was called on number 19, Kyle Halliday. They're going to call it on Klein Oak now. So a 15-yard penalty from an offensive standpoint now, and the Panthers are backed up to 3rd down and really long.
I think they called it on Durden, who was in the slot. I don't know if we have another look at it.
David Smith's not happy, as you see
he's not
on the screen.
Let's take a look at it. Durden in the slot. He'll be to the top of the screen, to the left. We'll see if we can see anything. Couldn't really tell from that angle, but nevertheless, it's going to back Klein Oak up. They're going to have 3rd and about half a mile. There's the play there. Good job by our crew.
So 3rd down and 26 now after the 15-yard offensive pass interference. Blair waggles to his right and will be pulled down from behind, but he maintains his balance and reverses his field. Numbers game catches up with the sophomore, still fighting, and is tackled for a 1-yard loss. They may give him back to the line of scrimmage, but after all that, it's going to be 4th down.
I'll tell you what, the young sophomore is hard to bring down. He has a never-say-die attitude. I think you have to be careful in those situations. You scramble so much, you tend to forget to protect the football.
What does it say about the tackling prowess of the Bearcat defense? How many tackles did Blair break?
Well, I think he missed all 11 guys on that play.
Ripley out for punt number 2. Pressure comes in, it's blocked. Number 25, Taylor Petty off the edge. Ball goes out of bounds at the Bearcat 47-yard line.
Well, it's going to set up great field position once again for Klein. This will be their 4th possession. And again, you'll see from the top of the screen, 3 Bearcats in the backfield had a shot at that one.
Klein get great starting field position. They've been deep. They've had a fumble in the end zone that was recovered by Josh Shantz. Had to go forward in their last possession, and they came up short. So on 1st down and 10, it's Rolliard, the quarterback, and on the reverse, and then a flip back to Rolliard, who throws it deep, wide open at the 25-yard line. Abraham Sosa to the pylon. No signal yet, he is out of bounds at the 2. 51 yards.
That got the crowd out of their seats on the far sideline. Wide open on the near side. And if he had just a little more gas in the tank, he could have gotten to the pylon, stepped out of bounds just before hitting the end zone, but 1st and goal for the Bearcats.
Nigel King saves the touchdown, handoff. King lunges down to the 1. 2nd carry for King on the night. Brings up 2nd down and goal as we approach 5 minutes to play here in the 1st half. 3-0 Panthers.
As you mentioned last time they were down here, Rolliard fumbled going into the end zone for a touchback. Now another opportunity for the Bearcats to take the lead.
Nelson the deep back. Sosa the fullback on 2nd and goal. And a timeout by Klein. Stand by. 2nd down and goal when we return. Panthers in front.
It's time! Join the fun at the Texas Renaissance Festival, happening every weekend now through November 30th. Brought to you by Coke and the DeMontron Auto Group. Huzzah! It's time!
.435 left to play in the 2nd quarter. The Panthers lead 3-0, but the Bearcats can have 2nd down and goal from the 1-yard line. Last time they were this deep, guess what? They fumbled.
Yeah, they can ill avoid to have a mistake in this situation. Once again, you have an opportunity to put Klein Oak on their heels, get them into the end zone, and try to take the lead before halftime.
Quickly, let's go down to Jeff. Nope. We're going to wait for Jeff. 2nd down and goal from the 1.5-yard line. Single back is Nelson. 4 receivers in the lineup. Rolliard, the quarterback, takes it over his center, gets a push from behind. Ball came loose again. Picked up on the fly. Down the sideline, it'll be Nigel King, and King will take it 99 yards for a Klein Oak touchdown.
You have got to be kidding me. You wonder if his forward progress was stopped. Officials say no, they let the play continue. Rolliard gets stripped again going into the end zone, and it turns into 6 the other way. Wow. Talk about a 14-point turnaround.
We talked about Klein Oak's prowess for takeaways.
My goodness.
Plus 13 in their turnover margin, their second fumble recovery, this one taken 99 yards for a Panther touchdown. Flag is down. On the extra point, there is a penalty marker down far side of the field. There's an offsides on the Bearcats. The extra point is good. 4:16 the time remaining in the second quarter. A huge defensive play as we take another look.
Yeah, you see Rolliard here. Now he's going to get pushed in the back by Nelson. He tries to put the ball over the line, over the goal line, and when he does so, it's knocked out of his hands by Klein Oak. They pick it up and return it the other way. Nigel King takes it to the house.
10-0 Klein Oak. 4:16 remaining in the first half.
That was quick.
This was you. You've been trying to get me to eat egg whites for years. You went and talked to McDonald's?
Oh, an Egg White Delight McMuffin.
Oh, I knew it.
The new Egg White Delight McMuffin. Freshly grilled egg whites and creamy white cheddar. Also available on any of your favorites. It's another new way to love McDonald's.
This is good.
Yeah, it's better than good.
Do you remember my latte?
Oh, yeah, but it's in the car.
10-0 Klein Oak as we go down to the field and Jeff Power.
Yeah, that's twice now that Kevin Rolliard has fumbled right there into the end zone. This one very costly, immediately going the other way for 6 points, and we'll see how that proves to be costly the rest of this game. Hey, I wanted to mention to you guys some notable alums from both of these schools. First of all, Lyle Lovett went to Klein High School. Yeah, but how about this one? Shelton from Big Bang Theory. Jim Parsons, he's a Klein Oak graduate. So there you go. Other names, Laura Wilkinson from Klein. Randy Bullock, who's here, Texans place kicker. He's from Klein as well.
Kickoff will be taken by Austin Trammell.
Some notable alumni.
Runs into
Jeff.
his own player. But Trammell breaks free on the far side and takes it out of bounds with a late flag thrown. Ran out of bounds at the 38-yard line, but I think the Bearcats will get an extra 15. Officials discussing as you get a look at Mike Massey. Late hit out of bounds. Second 15-yard penalty called on the Panthers today.
So this will set up the Bearcats again in great field position. They'll begin this time on the Panther 45-yard line, and they've blown some excellent scoring opportunities in this game. Twice they've started near midfield at their own 47 and 48. This time they start at the Klein Oak 45. They need to get some points before halftime.
First down and 10. Kohler on a pump fake, throws through the hands of his intended target. Ball does hit the ground before Jacob Harper, starting safety in the secondary, who has 2 interceptions this season, was almost there. Kohler now has thrown 3 straight incomplete passes and is 4 of 8 for 51 yards.
You see him that time pump fake, had a couple of passes deflected.
Christian Gutierrez, the intended receiver. Second down and 10 from the Panther 45. Play action. Kohler in trouble. Offensive line do not do their job. He is sacked back at the 49-yard line. A loss of 4, leading the way, Richard Jones.
Yeah, first man there was Jones. And then he brought some friends to the party as well. So now everything going in reverse for the Bearcats. 3rd and 14 as we go under 3.5 minutes here in the first half.
And as Shane Hallmark has to do the what might have been when this season is all said and done, this is a game he can pinpoint to some missed opportunities. Plenty of time remaining, though, for the Bearcats, who only trail by 10. A lot of self-inflicted wounds. Blitz comes. Kohler immediately dropped back in his own half of the field. No chance for the junior as he is dropped by Bart Barati.
Yeah, you saw Klein Oak bring pressure that time right up the middle through the A gaps. And the young quarterback didn't know how to handle it. Watch it here. You see him coming up right there. And then the outside linebacker comes up Barati to make the stop. So it's going to be a quick 3 and out. And Klein Oak will have an opportunity to possibly put more points on the scoreboard before halftime.
Matt Odom to punt it away. His second punt, his first went for 37. Yep, check that. New punter in the game was Kyle Geddes, returned by Durden. Out to the 35-yard line.
33 yards on the punt, but 13 on the return. So only a net of 20. And the Panthers will take over at the 35.
Time, 2:14 remaining in the second quarter, 10-0 Panthers. Field goal by Marcus Ripley, a 99-yard fumble return for a touchdown by Nigel King. Brandon Blair leads the Panthers out, and they will get started from their own 35. Quick pass complete, Durden. Durden up the sideline, making men miss, gets a first down at midfield. A pickup of 15, he's angled out of bounds by Chris Howard.
He got a tremendous block by the wide receiver, Austin Davis, over here on the near side. Watch it here. Watch the block coming up right there. That allowed him to pick up the extra yardage and the first down.
Blair, all 3 of his completed passes have gone to Durden for 36 yards. Blair scrambling, trying to think of something to do with the football. He's not going to get rid of it.
You better protect it.
Just gets it back to the line of scrimmage as the pressure of Klein results in a maybe minimal gain of a yard or so, and inches or so. We got a timeout taken by David Smith and Klein Oak.
Blair has to be careful carrying that football around like a loaf of bread. Panthers will have 1 timeout remaining with 1:44 to go here in the period. And in case you just joined us, the Klein Bearcats in the red zone twice, nearly in the end zone, 2 fumbles at the 1-yard line by the quarterback. Rolliard. 1 went into the end zone for a touchback in the first period. The last one, a couple of possessions ago, ended up in the hands of Nigel King, who returned it 99 yards for a Klein Oak touchdown, and that's where we stand, 10-zip, just before halftime.
They give Blair half a yard, second down and a long 9. Trips to the bottom of your screen. And a high snap. Good job by Blair, but the pressure comes from the edge. He had no chance, even if it was a clean snap. Michael Hamrick, Jr., backup linebacker with the drop on Blair.
Yeah, good job that time just to not have a turnover that time by Blair. Now it's going to be 3rd and long.
They've converted on just 1 third down. Blair will fire a lofter around the sideline, and some contact and a little jostling between Austin Davis and Taylor Petty. The ball falls incomplete, and it's 4th down for the Panthers.
For one of the few times tonight, Bearcats brought some pressure. They brought an extra defender on the blitz. Caused the pass to be off target, and now decision time for Klein Oak. I would go ahead and punt it away. I wouldn't want to give the Bearcats good field position once again. And it looks like that's what they'll do, is they'll bring in Ripley to kick it away.
Gutierrez will trot on the field to receive the punt. And a flag. Play clock expired. Which really isn't that big of a deal where you're on the 45. What's an additional 5 yards when you've got the leg of Marcus Ripley? But it is the 5th penalty in the first half called on the Panthers.
If you're Klein Oak, any additional yardage helps you out in this situation as you hope to set up a return.
Last punt was blocked. Pressure comes again. And I don't know, they may have gotten another piece of it, the Bearcats, but there is a flag down where the kick took place. This could be on the Bearcats. They may have made contact with Ripley.
Well, they did make contact. The question is it the 5-yard variety or the 15-yard personal foul? It was 4th and 20.
David Smith, as you see him come into your picture, talking with Mike Massey.
I think in any event you would take the penalty just so you would have an opportunity to re-kick.
Penalty on the Bearcats, but it's just running into the kicker and not roughing the kicker. So Ripley will get another chance. What now if you're the Bearcats or if you're the Panthers? From a punt blocking scenario, what do you need to do differently to try to manage this pressure coming from the Bearcats?
Ripley just needs to get it and kick it. He doesn't need to run around with it.
This time no pressure comes from Klein, and it's a good kick by Ripley. That rolls all the way down to the 6-yard line. 49-yard punt, Marcus Ripley. And we'll see what the offensive approach is for the Bearcats. Offensive coordinator Fred Maynard. Less than a minute to go, and you got to traverse over 90 yards to get back into striking distance.
Well, with the amount of turnovers, critical turnovers they had in this ball game, I would be content to go ahead and run out the clock, go to the locker room, only trailing by 10 points. You do not want to have a disaster on your inside your own 10-yard line and turn a 10-point game into a 17-point game.
Bearcats have 2 timeouts to work with, but it looks like they will be taking knees as they have deep back into the end zone. A knee taken by Rolliard. We'll have to do that just one more time, and the teams will head to the locker room.
Well, Klein really outplayed Klein Oak here in the first 24 minutes, but 2 critical turnovers going into the end zone reversed what could have been 14 points for Klein Oak. Instead, they'll go into the locker room with a 10-zip lead over the Bearcats.
2 big defensive plays by the Panthers. Talked about it all week. The drills they run on a defensive front in practice, ripping the ball away. They've done it twice, one of which resulted in a 99-yard fumble return for a touchdown by Nigel King. And the Panthers have a 10-0 lead at intermission as we head down to the field to Jeff Power.
Yeah, we're joined by David Smith right now. First of all, David, trailing or up right now with a convincing lead here, but you could be trailing knowing that they fumbled the ball twice down around the goal line. Your thoughts?
I thought that's football. It's tough. It's Friday night and it's football. Kids have made some super plays on defense. Offense, of course, we've got a quarterback who's not used to being the man right now, and hopefully he slows it down a little bit. The game gets a little slower in the second half, and we're more productive on offense.
And talk about making some plays. Nigel King on that 99-yard fumble return. I mean, that was an athletic play.
Yes, he bounced it. I saw him. He bounced it. He saw it. He hit it and caught it. It was fun.
Hey, your wife Patty's up in the stands. Anything you want to say to her real quick?
I love her, of course, forever.
Thoughts about how she might be on pins and needles in this one. Rivalry games, anything goes, right?
Oh, yeah. Klein guy, he's a super coach. Hallmark's a super friend, great guy. The staff is getting after it. Double reverse, pass back to the, it's just anything goes. It's lots of fun.
Okay, let's send it back upstairs. Thank you, David. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Back upstairs.
Halftime at Klein Memorial Stadium. It's the Klein Oak Panthers 10 and the Klein Bearcats nothing.
For over 25 years, Athletic Orthopedics and Knee Center has been recognized in Texas as a prominent leader in orthopedic healthcare. We have provided care for a multitude of high school, college, professional, and Olympic athletes, as well as treated employees with work-related injuries from over 200 companies. Our services include orthopedics and sports medicine, on-site 24-hour emergency room, physical therapy and rehabilitation. Each of our 6 physicians are world-renowned in their specialties and take pride in their patient care. We are located at 9180 Katy Freeway, Suite 200, or I-10 and Campbell in between 610 and the Beltway. You can call us directly at 713-984-1400 or visit us on the web at www.aokc.net.
Getting ready for the start of the third quarter. The Klein Oak Panthers have a 10-0 lead over the Klein Bearcats as we welcome you high atop Klein Memorial Stadium. Michael Silvers alongside former Texas Longhorn Ken Moore. The difference so far in the first half, takeaways by the Klein Oak Panthers.
Yeah, a couple of big turnovers. Quarterback Kevin Rolliard had a couple of crucial fumbles going into the end zone for Klein. One resulted in a touchback. The second one resulted in a 99-yard fumble return by Nigel King. Klein Oak leading it at the break, 10-0.
Brandon Blair, sophomore quarterback for Klein Oak, thrown into duty due to the injury by Jose Blankenship, who was ruled out at game time. Hasn't played too bad, leads the team in rushing with 42 yards.
Yeah, he's had a tremendous first half, a couple of game-breaking plays. He's been able to use the pump fake, try to avoid defenders, really bad tackling by the Klein Bearcats in the secondary, but Blair's done well for himself, the young sophomore, here in the first 24 minutes.
And outside of the 2 turnovers, a relatively even game.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you look at the stats, Klein has really actually kind of dominated the game. You look at the passing yards, 149 yards. They came out throwing the football. Time of possession, they lead that 13-20 to 10-40. But you see the arrow right there in the middle, the turnovers. That's the big category. The 2 turnovers going into the end zone. They could easily be up in this ball game 14-0. Instead, they trail it 10-0.
And let's just see, you see that negative 26 rushing yards. Let's be fair. It's not because of inefficiency running the football. A lot of that's due to Panthers' sacks of the quarterback.
Yeah, Klein Oak has really gotten after the quarterback in this football game. A lot of intense pressure, but they've actually run the ball well, has Klein, but you see the negative yardage, and that's really because of the sacks.
Let's check in downstairs with Jeff Power.
Yeah, we talked about the 2 fumbles with Kevin Rolliard into the end zone one time, then of course on the 1-yard line, the other one that was returned 99 yards for a touchdown. And Shane Hallmark told me, hey, we've just got to stay within ourselves. Luck hasn't been on their sideline all season long. You know, they've had 8 starters go out with injuries this year, but Shane feels like they're winning the game on the field in between the 20s. He feels pretty good about what they're doing. They're not going to change anything in the second half. They're going to keep doing what they're doing at Klein and try to get back in this game quickly. Back upstairs.
Thank you very much, Jeff. So, Ken, let's talk about keys. What needs to happen in the second half, not only for Klein Oak to sustain their lead and pull even with Spring in the district at 3 wins, 2 losses, but what do Klein need to do to overtake Klein Oak and get the victory?
Well, I really think this opening possession of the third period is going to be critical. Klein Oak will get the football to begin the period. It's very critical for Klein to force them off the field. Do not allow an opening quarter score. We've seen that a lot of times in the ball games we've done this year where the team coming out of halftime has been able to take control of the ball game. So for Klein, it's getting that initial stop coming out of the locker room. And as Jeff mentioned, continue doing what they've been doing offensively. It's worked all the way down to the 1-yard line, but when they've gotten to that point, that's when they've had the critical mistake.
Let me ask you this. I mean, you haven't ever been a coach, you've been a player. So when you take the timeout and you give Rolliard a chance to atone for the earlier fumble, it doesn't work again. Let me ask you this. Any particular reason why you wanted to go back to him except for maybe to build up confidence or atone for the previous mistake? What do you think went behind the decision to try to sneak it again?
Well, I think Rolliard is their best option in goal line situations throughout the season. He's a good running quarterback. So obviously he hasn't had a history of fumbling the football. So when you have a quarterback that's made one mistake, you don't really worry about the initial mistake. Now when it becomes problematic is when it begins to repeat itself. So I would highly doubt you would see him in that situation again tonight.
No third time a charm situation?
No. Not unless they're up like 41-10 or something like that. Then you'll give him a chance to atone himself. But, yeah, I would be very gun-shy about putting him in that situation a third time, because what happens, especially with a young player, they start to think instead of playing, and you don't want your quarterback out there thinking about having to hold on to the football. You address that situation on Monday when you get back into the film room.
And credit the Klein Oak Panther defense. And we talked with David Smith on Wednesday, and he said he practices. There are stations on the practice field ripping the ball away, stripping the ball, and so much so that sometimes he's afraid of what he sees from his defense. Instead of a two-hand and two-arm tackle, sometimes he sees that team and his defenders trying to rip the ball out. Sometimes it doesn't work, but they're a plus 13 in their turnover margin. They have a fumble return for a touchdown, 99 yards by Nigel King. Things are working in practice, and they're executing on the field.
Well, a lot of times the key to getting turnovers is that the initial defender, you want that guy to wrap up. Then the second and third defenders that come, those are the guys you want ripping the football out. You don't want that initial defender ripping away, because generally what happens, he'll go for the football, miss the ball and the tackle, and then you end up with a big play by the offense.
Kyle Geddes will kick it off. First time he's been able to kick the ball tonight, except for one punt. End over end kick. And it is taken at the 5-yard line. Right sideline, Odessa Thurman. Good starting field position as Thurman takes it out to the 39-yard line. So you saw the stats. Panthers 1 for 7 on third downs. Or 1 for 6, I should say. My apologies, pardon me. 7 first downs. Penalties a big concern. They were penalized 12 times last week against Westfield for 120 yards. 5 penalties in the first half for 45 yards. Operate out of the pistol with Brandon Blair, the quarterback, and a play fake. Throws to the sideline, incomplete.
Good coverage over here on the near side, making the pass breakup, Austin Trammell, the sophomore.
Pass intended for Isaiah Wright, looking for his 5th catch of the year. Blair now 3 for 7 in the air for 46 yards. All 3 completed passes to Durden. He's going to try it again to the left side this time. Avoids a sack. Throws off the hands of Durden and almost picked off.
That was Kyle Holliday. It almost had it off the tip drill. Watch it here again. Excellent pressure applied. Chris Howard, he's been in the backfield all night long. Off the hands of Durden and nearly into the waiting hands of number 19, Holliday.
That's a catch Durden should make. He lines up as part of a trips package to the top of your screen quickly. 3rd down and 10 for the Panthers. Pass on a slant to the right side, incomplete, I should say, knocked away. Good coverage by Trammell on Isaiah Wright, and it's quickly a 3-and-out forced by this Bearcat defense.
And that's exactly what we just talked about. Had to happen for Klein to keep their confidence going. They were able to force the quick 3-and-out. Now you don't want to make a mistake here on special teams. You should get the ball in excellent field position.
Ripley has already had 1 punt blocked. Christian Gutierrez back deep to receive. Low line drive, end over and kick. A chance for a return by Christian Gutierrez. Reaches the 41-yard line for progress, is stopped. 14-yard return on a 34-yard punt. What adjustments will the offense of the Klein Bearcats have made after the locker room break? About to find out. 1st and 10. They'll scrimmage from their own 41.
Rolliard will come in at quarterback to begin this series. We just hope that his confidence has not been shaken by those 2 critical turnovers in the first half.
The Bearcats start from their own 41. Handoff to Cassius King. Not a lot of room to work with up the middle to the 43, a gain of 2.
First carry of the night for King. Actually, his 3rd carry, pardon me.
2nd down and 8.
King on the season averaging nearly 9 yards a carry. He's been in the end zone 3 times.
Give it back to King, straight up the gut to the 46-yard line for a gain of 3. Leading the way defensively, Frank Romero. And it's quickly 3rd down for Klein.
You definitely want to keep these 3rd and manageable situations. You want to avoid the penalties. You don't want to get behind the chains, get off schedule. Big 3rd down coming up here for the Bearcats.
Shotgun for Rolliard. Pass is picked off. Josh Shantz inside the 30 and down to the 21-yard line. Pardon me, the 26-yard line, the 3rd takeaway by the Panther defense tonight.
And the 3rd turnover by Rolliard, as he is having, unfortunately for him, the hat trick in turnovers. You see it here. The linebacker just drops in coverage. He doesn't get the football high enough. And the big player just goes up and brings it down. Now Klein Oak in excellent position to try to put some distance between themselves and Klein.
2nd interception on the season for linebacker Josh Shantz. Back to work go the Panther offense. They'll scrimmage from the Bearcat 26. On the ground at Derek Durden, bottled up at the line. Leading the way, Lorenzo Ogeen, Jr., the inside linebacker, stopping Durden for a pickup of 2.
You're the Klein defense, you just want to hold them to a field goal opportunity here.
Busted play, and Blair has to take it himself, improvised down to the 21, picking up 4. 3rd down and 5.
Sorry about that, but you see how quick and elusive Blair can be. Even on a busted play, he has the patience to find the hole, pick up some positive yardage, set up a 3rd and short.
Connor Arnson lines up in a slot to the bottom of your screen, but first, pre-snap penalties. Mike Massey, our referee tonight. No flag instead. It's going to be a timeout taken by Klein Oak, an early timeout in the 3rd quarter. They lead 10-0, have 3rd down when we return.
Nothing brings the community together like high school sports. And for the Allegiance Bank team, our partnership with the community is a big deal.
From blood drives to food drives, to even the longest of rides, Allegiance bankers are committed to making a difference and impacting the local community, providing volunteer hours and rolling up our sleeves as an active and responsible community partner.
At Allegiance Bank, we are your neighbor and your community bank. That's our game plan.
Tonight's game is brought to you in part by McDonald's. I'm loving it. By First Community Credit Union. Think first. By the Texas Renaissance Festival. Lift up your cares. And by Mr. Electric. We've got the power to make things better. 9:25 left in the 3rd. 10-0 Panthers. 3rd down and 5 from the Bearcat 21, trying to capitalize on the Josh Shantz interception of Kevin Rolliard.
Look for Chris Howard at the top of the screen. Here he comes.
Pressure comes, and Rowan Howard gets to Blair. Boy, did he time that snap perfectly. Blair dropped back at the 29, a loss of 8.
You could see him inching up, and what Howard has done, he is Johnny on the spot on the snap count of Blair. Blair is going to have to change his cadence, change his snap count. I saw that one coming a mile away.
Panthers will lean on Marcus Ripley. 46-yard field goal try out of the hold of Brandon Blair. Personnel late coming on the field, and the Panthers are forced to call their 2nd timeout, and we're not even 4 minutes into the 2nd half.
Yeah, special teams error that time by Durden, getting on the field late.
So you avoid the 5-yard penalty, which could have been for delay of game due to the tardiness of Derek Durden on the special teams field goal unit. But How crucial is taking an early second timeout? What role will that play maybe late in the game tonight?
Well, if Klein can make it a ball game, get back in it and make it close, it could be critical late in the fourth period, depending on how it plays out. Now, the kick that time was short and wide to the right. So now another opportunity here for Ripley. He connected earlier in the ball game for initial 3-zip lead on a 30-yard field goal.
Had a pair of field goals last week in the loss to Westfield. Again, Blair the holder. High snap. This one is hooking, no good. The Bearcats hold, do not surrender any points on their third turnover. And will restart on offense inside their own 30-yard line.
Be interesting to see who comes out at quarterback on this possession. Will it be Rolliard?
Tonight's District 15 6A game brought to you in part by Allegiance Bank of Texas, making a difference together. By Athletic Orthopedic and Knee Center for over 25 years, excellence is our specialty. And by M&B Tools and Equipment, quality new and used construction equipment, tools, and supplies. Rolliard on first down, hands it off to the 30-yard line, a pickup of 1 for Cassius King. Coming in to make the stop was John Parsons. Also in on the tackle, Josh Shantz.
A little surprised they didn't go back to Nick Kohler, the junior who started the ball game. Had a couple of nice pass plays in that first half, but they will remain with the other junior, Rolliard.
4 minutes gone by in the third quarter, 10-0 Panthers. Sosa had a big reception in the second quarter in motion. Back on the ground, this is Nelson. And Nelson takes it across the 35, 36-yard line, new line of scrimmage, a gain of 6. It'll be 3rd and 3.
Bearcats will go to the hurry up. Try to catch Klein Oak off guard.
On third down, on the delay. Nelson hitting the backfield, slowed up, and then tackled for a 2-yard loss at the 34-yard line.
Yeah, first in the backfield, Josh Shantz, the senior linebacker, slowed him up. You'll see him here shoot the gap. Nice arm tackle. And then big number 44 cleans up the mess. It'll be 3 and out for the Bearcats.
Looks like Mac Odom out to punt it away. Not much doing for the Bearcats offense so far in this third quarter. Rugby-style kick, an end-over-end kick, but it's going to take a Klein Oak bounce at the 34-yard line. 31 yards on the kick. 6:42 remaining in the third quarter. 10-0 Panthers. Last possession resulted in a missed 41-yard field goal attempt by Marcus Ripley.
Both teams struggling offensively here in the second half. Defensively, both teams obviously made some great adjustments at halftime.
Panther offense back to work on the 35. Handoff, new back in the game, getting his first touch is Connor Parkinson. Parkinson out to the 40 for a gain of 5.
Parkinson in the books with 2 receptions on the season for 62 yards out of the backfield.
Screen pass complete. Durden looking for lead blocks. Durden takes it out for a first down. 48-yard line. Gain of 8 on the pass play. Breaks a string of 4 straight incomplete passes thrown by Blair. And again, all 4 of his completions now have gone to Derek Durden. 1st and 10 from their own 48. On the keeper, it's Blair. Pump fakes, angles out of bounds. Gets another first down into Bearcat territory. Gain of 11, and the Panthers pick up their 9th first down of the game.
Yeah, Tywan Solomon had a chance at him here in the backfield. He gets away from Solomon, scoots out of bounds, picks up a first down.
Another quick screen pass complete. Durden breaks, almost broke it. Tackled from behind, perhaps a touchdown saving tackle made by Kyle Halliday, but it's another first down for the Panthers as they will set up now on the 29-yard line.
Yeah, excellent blocking and just poor tackling again by Klein on the outside.
67 yards receiving for Durden. On the ground to Parkinson on first down, right up the gut. Picks up 8, maybe 9, down to the 20. Well, this is a very efficient drive. Second offensive possession of this third quarter for Klein Oak. 5:25 remaining in the third and a 10-0 Panther lead. Screen pass complete. Durden to the outside. Geometrically angled out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Looking at about an 8-yard pass play. And another Panther first down, but we do have a marker down.
Geometrically angled, I like that. I think Klein Bearcats were geometrically angled incorrectly at the line of scrimmage and picked up a offside penalty. And you see big number 4 coming off the edge there in the spot that Chris Howard had been accustomed to playing the last few possessions. That time Michael Hamrick gets called for the outside.
First down and goal from the 8. Blair finds Durden again. No, this is not Durden, this is Austin Davis. You have to expect him to go to Durden. This time it's Austin Davis with his first catch of the night. Takes it down inside the 5 to the 4. A pass play of 4 yards.
You see Klein Oak using those outside receivers to get one-on-one matchups, and they're winning right now against the Klein secondary.
Timeout on the field, and the Bearcats spend their first timeout of the second half. Let's head downstairs to Jeff Power.
Yeah, we're standing by here with Randy Bullock, former place kicker for the Klein Bearcats, now, of course, with the Houston Texans. First of all, glad to have you back. You excited about being back here at Klein High School?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a lot of fun to come back and see the team. I train here in the offseason, so it's fun to come back and actually catch a game. This is my first game since I actually played here.
I know they were a little snake bit around the goal line and weren't able to punch it in and turn the ball over. And that's happened to the Texans a time or two. Thoughts? What would you tell Shane Hallmark right now as far as keeping their heads up?
It's tough. They've played well. Honestly, they've beat these guys. They've had 2 turnovers inside the 5-yard line, and one of them they returned all the way back for a touchdown. So you got to find a way to get some guys some emotion and figure out a way to figure it all out.
All right, Randy Bullock, thanks for being with us. Back upstairs.
Very special guest and the alumnus of Klein High School, Randy Bullock.
And of course, Bullock has a big game coming up this weekend up in Nashville against the Tennessee Titans, a game that the Texans have to win.
Things were started off good for the Texans in Pittsburgh on Monday night in the late second quarter meltdown. Second down and goal from the 4. Keeper on the zone read by Blair, maybe another yard to the 3.
Again, another big opportunity for this Klein defense to try to hold the water until their offense can get on track.
Third and goal from the 3. Handoff, Durden. He's going to be stopped short of the goal line by the Bearcat defense.
Now, big 4th down decision coming up for Coach David Smith. As he try to punch it in and make it a 3-score game, it looks like he will.
From the shotgun, Blair has Durden with him in the backfield.
Plenty of time on the play clock, but looks like they're going to use their final timeout. Wow. They had 18 seconds remaining on the play clock, plenty of time to decide Coach Smith does not want a mistake here in this situation, but he has burned all of his timeouts here in the third period.
We're only 8 minutes and 12 seconds into the second half. Recapping the 10-0 score. 30-yard field goal by Marcus Ripley made it 3-0 Klein Oak, and then after a second fumble by Kevin Rolliard at the 1-yard line, Nigel King took it 99 yards to the house, and the Panthers took a 10-0 lead into halftime and are looking to extend their lead with a 4th down and goal from the 1-yard line.
This is a huge defensive play for Klein. Their defense has been spectacular all night long. They need to come up with another big play here.
Fourth and goal. Blair, design run to the outside, touchdown. His 8th rushing touchdown of the season. The Panthers are up by 16.
A huge play that time by Blair as he went around the right side, and you see the ozone. The fans happy over here on the Klein Oak sideline as they go up by 3 scores now, 17-zip over the Klein Bearcats. You're watching LSN Game of the Week. We'll be back in a moment.
If you're anything like most Texans, you're always on the go. Good thing First Community Credit Union's mobile app makes it easy to do my banking anywhere, anytime. I have Texans checking, even mobile deposits and text banking. Join me on the FCCU winning team. Go online today and experience a first-rate difference.
Be a part of the team. Sign up for Texans Checking today. First Community Credit Union, the official credit union of the Houston Texans and personal choice of Brian Cushing.
That was quick.
This was you. You've been trying to get me to eat egg whites for years. You went and talked to McDonald's?
Oh, an Egg White Delight McMuffin.
Oh, I knew it.
The new Egg White Delight McMuffin. Freshly grilled egg whites and creamy white cheddar. Also available on any of your favorites. It's another new way to love McDonald's.
This is good.
Yeah, it's better than good.
Do you remember my latte?
Oh, yeah. But it's in the car.
That's good.
Ripley's kickoff. Taken by Taiwan Solomon. Solomon has a convoy. Tackled over the 40-yard line from behind. He takes it out to the 42. 17-0 Klein Oak. They convert the touchdown on 4th down and short.
Excellent drive that time by the Panthers. 10-play, 65-yard drive, took 2:58 off the clock. Blair with the 1-yard touchdown scamper on 4th and goal. As Klein Oak extends their lead, 17-zip.
Rolliard remains the quarterback, which begs the question on the health of junior Nick Kohler. Rolliard throws on the run, complete into Panther territory to Mac Odom. He's out of bounds at the 31-yard line. A 27-yard pass play.
That's the first down of the third period for Klein. You see the nice play fake. Good toss that time by Rolliard, right on the money to the receiver going out of bounds, 1st and 10. And again, if you're just joining us, Klein had a lot of success in the first half throwing the football in the first period.
They have gotten the Panthers to jump across. There is a pre-snap penalty. It'll be on the Bearcats, though, for false start. Third penalty called on Shane Hallmark's team for 15 yards tonight.
It's just been the small things that have held Klein back here this evening. I don't lament the point of the 2 turnovers going into the end zone, but a couple of false start penalties putting them behind the chains as well.
Odom and Trammell to the top of your screen on 1st and 15. On the ground to Howard. Howard trying to get back to the original line of scrimmage and get a little bit of a surge, but will be 2 yards short. of that original line of scrimmage, and a late flag thrown. You wonder who this is on. Preliminary look, it's going to be on Klein Oak, as you saw number 35, Odessa Thurman, getting a talking to from one of his teammates. Going to be on Thurman.
Well, that's the last thing you need if you're Coach David Smith. You have a 17-point lead. You don't want to give Klein any life, any momentum. You see the scrum there in the middle of the field.
15-yard penalty takes Klein inside the red zone for the third time tonight. They've gotten it to within point-blank range on 2 occasions. Both times they have fumbled, one of which returned by Nigel King, 99 yards for a Panther touchdown. Out of the shotgun, Rolliard has Howard off his right shoulder. Rolliard fires over the middle, complete for the touchdown. Christian Gutierrez. First touchdown catch of the season, and the Bearcats are on the board.
Finally, something to cheer about on the far sideline as the Bearcats get into the end zone. Christian Gutierrez on a slant pattern, hauls it in. Klein right back in it. Extra point is up, and it is true.
2:45 left to play in the third quarter, and the Klein Bearcats answer the Klein Oak touchdown. The deficit is back to 10.
Here you see it, just a quick 3-step drop. Excellent protection, and the slant pattern on the money to Gutierrez. And we have a 17-7 ball game.
That is Rolliard's second touchdown pass thrown this season. It's basically been a carousel of quarterbacks due to injury for Shane Hallmark and the Bearcats. Back to a 2-possession game after the 18-yard touchdown strike from Rolliard to Gutierrez.
That was a quick 3-play, 58-yard drive, aided by the 15-yard unsportsmanlike penalty. It only took 59 seconds. And Klein, they still have life.
Geddes will kick it off. Wonder if Shane Hallmark is thinking of any tricks up his sleeve right now.
See a lot of the Bearcats up, just in case.
Thurman and Parsons back deep for the Panthers. No tricks. Parsons from the 6. Gets to the 25-yard line.
Well, we're still a week away from Halloween, so no trick or treats yet.
Panthers back at it. Offense will begin in scrimmage from their own 25-yard line. Needing a win to keep pace with the Spring Lions, who they will meet on November 6th to close out the regular season. That game could very well be for the final playoff spot out of 15-6A. Any loss in the next 3 games taken by the Bearcats will end their playoff hopes. Durden on the ground on 1st down and 10. Turns the corner and is angled out of bounds by the Bearcat defense. Devon Boyd was in on that, on the chase of Durden. It's gonna be about a yard shy of the 1st down, a gain of 9 for Durden.
Durden with so much speed, so much quickness, just outruns the Bearcat defenders to the boundary. Then lowers his shoulder to pick up extra yardage.
Blair on the fake to Durden, gets a 1st down this side of the field. Broken tackle from Halliday and is forced out of bounds by Charles Albritton. Out to the 42, a gain of 8 and a first down for the Panthers.
Yeah, and that combination of Blair and Durden, they have been tremendous all season running the football. Combined, they're over 1,000 yards and 12 touchdowns between the two of them.
They have a combined 98 tonight, and again, Blair calls his own number. He's into the open field. Down to the Bearcat 37-yard line. 21 more yards for sophomore quarterback Brandon Blair. Sprung into action at the quarterback position tonight due to the injury to Jose Blankenship.
Yeah, you see the kick-out block on number 44, and then you see the outside linebacker, Hamrick. He's late to the party. And here they go again on a quick count. Durden up the middle for several.
Gain of half a dozen. 12 first downs picked up by the Panthers tonight as we come down to 90 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. 17-7 Panthers. On 2nd and 4, it's Durden. And he is tackled by Eddie Martinez, Jr. Backup nose tackle to Ethan Johnson. Gain of 2, it's 3rd down and short. Klein Oak just 1 for 9 on 3rd down efficiency tonight. 3 receivers in the lineup. Blair will run it. And then now try to throw into a tight window. It is knocked down by Lorenzo Ogeen. Pass was intended for Dylan Shearer, and it's 4th down for the Panthers.
Again, decision time, 4th and 2, inside the 30.
They scored a touchdown on their last 4th down. Granted, it was 4th down and goal from inside the 1. They need to get it down to the 27-yard line to continue this possession. Quick pass, complete. Durden in trouble, but he spins off a tackle and he gets a first down. Albritton couldn't wrap him up. Durden breaks the tackle. Picks up a first down to the 22-yard line, 7-yard reception, and the Panther drive continues.
Watch the one-on-one move by Durden, the little spin move. Hit the B button on the Xbox, picks up the first down. Albritton couldn't handle him one-on-one in open space.
82 receiving yards for senior Derek Durden, first down and 10. High snap goes over the head and through the hands of Blair, but the Panthers were able to get back on it quickly. But it's a loss back to the 28.
That was a golden opportunity for the Bearcats. Klein Oak, no turnovers tonight, nearly had one there. Second time tonight we've seen a high snap. In the first half, Blair was able to bring it down, couldn't control that one.
2nd down and 16. Blair on the rollout, throws against the grain, and it's caught. It went through the hands of Halliday and into the waiting arms of Dylan Shearer, and he's in for the touchdown.
Talk about a game of inches. This pass nearly intercepted. Just went over the outstretched arms of the defender into the waiting arms of Shearer, and he takes it into the end zone. And it's been one of those kind of nights for the Bearcats. But the black and gold loves it. Watch it here. Blair under pressure just throws it up. And number 19, it just goes right through his arms. Kyle Halliday into the waiting arms of Dylan Shearer. Wow. It's going your way. It's going your way.
First touchdown pass this season thrown by sophomore Brandon Blair. Equally the first touchdown catch for junior Dylan Shearer. It's back to a 17-point lead for David Smith and his Panthers. A win tonight keeps them in pace with the Spring Lions, who defeated Klein Forest last night 42-7 for that 4th and final playoff spot out of District
A Touchdown drive, 9 plays, 75 yards, 2:21 off the clock. 39 touchdown reception by Shearer. Klein Oak back on top by 17.
Trammell drops it, picks it up. Weaves his way over the 20 and out to the 21-yard line. 17 seconds left in the third quarter. A 24-7 Bearcat deficit, but something that they can build on, Ken, is the idea that, yes, they've been able to get down deep in the red zone, coughed it up twice, one return for a touchdown by Nigel King of 99 yards, but in their last offensive possession, they were able to drive the length of the field and actually cash in.
Yeah, they have had success on the offensive side of the football all night, but the defense has broken down here in the second half, giving up 14 points.
They begin with a handoff off the edge. Cassius King takes it out to the 25. That's a run of 4 yards, and that should be the end of the third quarter.
The third quarter dominated by Klein Oak as they outscored the Bearcats 14-7 in the period, and they'll go into the fourth period with a 17-point lead.
24-7. This is the LSN Game of the Week.
If you're anything like most Texans, you're always on the go. Good thing First Community Credit Union's mobile app makes it easy to do my banking anywhere, anytime. I have Texans checking, even mobile deposits and text banking. Join me on the FCCU winning team. Go online today and experience a first-rate difference.
Be a part of the team. Sign up for Texans Checking today. First Community Credit Union, the official credit union of the Houston Texans and personal choice of Brian Cushing.
It's time! Join the fun at the Texas Renaissance Festival, happening every weekend now through November 30th. Brought to you by Coke and the DeMontron Auto Group. Huzzah!
Fourth and final quarter here from Klein Memorial Stadium in Spring, along with our producer Scott Sullivan, our director Matt Broussard, Jeff Power down the field, Ken Moore to my right up in the booth. I'm Michael Silvers. Great to have you along. 15-6A matchup between Klein Oak and Klein, and a 24-7 Panther edge. Bearcats have second down and 6. As we start the fourth and final stanza, they will scrimmage from their own 25. Roll yard, lofting one, and what a catch! Travian White at the 40-yard line, a 15-yard hookup and a one-handed grab.
Well, it didn't look like Rolliard was prepared for the snap. Caught him by surprise. He just threw it up to the big fella. He goes up and makes a one-handed snag. First down at the 40.
Beat the coverage of Chris Garcia. Panthers show blitz. Gutierrez in motion. First down and 10. Here's a pitch to King. He is blown up in the backfield. Shantz got in there first. He was finished off by Richard Jones. A loss back to the 36-yard line.
You never, ever, ever want to spin back inside on a run blitz. And that's what King did that time. Just made a mistake, did the youngster. He paid for it dearly.
Resulted in second down and 16, excuse me.
Yeah, I didn't mean to interrupt, but you just want to take that pitch out, continue outside around the edge, and get as much as you can.
Pressure comes again from the Panthers. A deep ball. Ugly looking pass, but it's caught by Odom. Touchdown.
Well, it was ugly, but it was successful. And when we see the replay, watch Cassius King, the tailback number 6, atone for his mistake on the previous play by picking up the blitzing inside linebacker. We'll see it here after the extra point attempt, but the Bearcats will not die.
Converted extra point would cut the lead to 10. And Geddes boots it through. A minute 13 into the fourth quarter. We've got ourselves a 10-point game.
Couldn't see the block there happen too quick, but look at the reception one-on-one by Mac Odom, and he takes it to the house. Bearcat season on the line. They're giving it all they have tonight. But a heck of a block by Cassius King to protect his quarterback and allow that touchdown pass to happen.
66 yards on the hookup from Rolliard to Odom. 10-point deficit again for the Bearcats.
Drive by Klein, 4 plays, 79 yards. It only took a minute 37 off the clock. Still have nearly 11 minutes to go in this one. A long way to go at Klein Memorial. Both teams fighting for their playoff lives. Klein 1-3 in district play. Klein Oak 2-2.
Parsons will get a chance from the 7. Parsons has a wall of blockers. Parsons down the sideline. Touchdown saving tackle by Taylor Petty at the 17-yard line. 77-yard return.
This has been a second half of big plays. And you see the officials talking on the sideline.
Is there a penalty marker that we do not see on the near sideline?
I don't see one in the field of play, but we'll see what the discussion is.
Or perhaps, was there a spectator, or perhaps we have an official that came up a little gimpy. Line judge tonight is being treated by the medical staff of Klein Oak High School. We'll see if he can remain at his post. Looks like he will. He'll shake it off.
Look at this return by Parsons, showing great speed down the sideline as he nearly takes it to the house. As you mentioned, a great touchdown saving tackle there. Looks like it was Petty.
And you wonder, we heard from Jeff Power back in the first half about some notable alumni. Jim Parsons of the Big Bang Theory, a notable alumnus from Klein Oak High School. You wonder, might be reaching if John is of any relation.
He can claim to be if he's not.
And I think Jeff is going to be on the case. He's going to find out. Of course, with all the money that Jim Parsons makes per episode of The Big Bang Theory, he may have moved his family out to California, wherever he may be living right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Klein Oak start from the Bearcats 17. Handoff. Durden making men miss. Derek Durden, touchdown.
It is a touchdown festival here in October. Instead of Oktoberfest, it's Touchdown Fest at Klein Memorial in the second half as these teams go back and forth.
First touchdown of the night for Derek Durden, his 5th rushing touchdown of the year, his 10th overall touchdown of the season. Flags. Ball start on Klein Oak. You got to wonder now if Shane Hallmark is asking himself, how do we get a defensive stop? We were so good at this earlier. Maybe the same would be said by David Smith as they continue to go back and forth. Klein Oak will extend to a 17-point lead. Klein will cut it back to 10. This has happened on 2 occasions. Now this is the 3rd time, pending the extra point here. If it's made by Ripley, that Klein Oak will enjoy a 17-point advantage. 25-yard extra point and more pre-snap flags. Bearcats may have given Ripley 5 yards to make it a standard extra point try. All right, so back to a regular old-fashioned extra point try.
Might as well pull out the old fake extra point and go for 2. The way these teams are scoring in the second half. Unbelievable offensive explosion after a defensive battle in the first half.
No problem for Marcus Ripley as the extra point is good. And we're only a minute 32 seconds into this final quarter. 31-14 Panthers.
Nothing brings the community together like high school sports. And for the Allegiance Bank team, our partnership with the community is a big deal.
From blood drives to food drives, to even the longest of rides, Allegiance bankers are committed to making a difference and impacting the local community, providing volunteer hours and rolling up our sleeves as an active and responsible community partner.
At Allegiance Bank, we are your neighbor and your community bank. That's our game plan.
Hey, John Parsons had that big return. You guys will want to know if he's related to Jim Parsons from the Big Bang Theory. No, he is not. But you know what? Big Bang plays is what's got Klein Oak up big in this game, because every time Klein scores a touchdown, Klein Oak has answered, and that's why they're winning right now 31-14. Back to you guys upstairs.
Well, I mean, it was a good observation, but apparently we were wrong, or I was wrong. Ken had nothing to do with it. Kickoff out of bounds will bring out another penalty flag.
The penalties and the scores have been in abundance here in the 3rd period. That will set up Klein in good field position.
So do the Bearcats take the penalty yardage, and they will not force the Panthers to re-kick.
Well, Bearcats will be forced again to respond. They scored a pair of touchdowns here in the second half. They'll need a few more to get back into this one.
10:28 remaining. Bearcats will get started from their own 30-yard line. Odom comes in motion, sets up in the backfield. Here's a pitch to Howard. Howard tackled by Odessa Thurman. 32-yard line, a pickup of 2.
And Howard, of course, an excellent two-way player. We've seen him make a lot of plays out of that outside linebacker position here tonight. One of the best athletes on the field. They put him at the tailback position to see if they can get a big home run hit out of him.
Odom in motion. Give it to him. Nope, play action. On the run, it's Rolliard for a first down and more. He's out of bounds in Panther territory. Forced out at the 49-yard line, 18 yards. Maybe even give him 19 on the run for Kevin Rolliard. That results in the 10th first down of the game for the Bearcats.
Rolliard on the night, 1 touchdown pass, 1 interception, 2 critical fumbles.
Split backs out of the shotgun. 1st and 10 from the 49. Rolliard keeps it again. Rumbles down to the 46-yard line. A 3-yard run for the quarterback. Brought down by Josh Shantz.
We're ready. Okay, well, I'm waiting on the women's right now. Okay.
Rolliard 6 carries, 14 yards. 2 fumbles, an interception, and a touchdown pass. A full day's work. A little bit of everything for Kevin Rolliard, junior quarterback for the Bearcats, and will be in competition with starting quarterback Nick Kohler for the starting job next season. 2nd down and 7. Pump fake. Rolliard throws deep. Trammell knocked away, but a flag is thrown.
Clearly pass interference there.
Matt Kreider, the cover man. Another 15-yard penalty will be called on Klein Oak.
Yeah, but that penalty saved the touchdown.
They've had an offensive pass interference, now a defensive pass interference. 80 yards on 8 penalties.
Ball slightly underthrown there. If it's put out in front, that's 6.
Might have been a simple case of Kreider didn't turn his head back.
He turns his head around, he may be able to pick that one off.
Penalty takes the Bearcats down to the Panther 31, 1st down and 10. Odom in the slot. Screen pass to Trammell, and he is blown up. What a hit by Jacob Harper.
Boy, that's called hanging your receiver out to dry.
Rolliard had 7 straight completions to begin his night for 224 yards and a touchdown and an interception. That is his first incomplete pass.
Quarterback, as soon as you throw it, you know you put your receiver in grave danger. And he took a shot to the ribs. Looks like he probably just got the wind knocked out of him, thankfully.
That was Christian Gutierrez. My apologies. It looked like 8 from up here. Close up via the camera crew. Shows it's Christian Gutierrez. David Smith has to like that hit. He's a defensive guy.
Absolutely. Picture perfect tackle. Separation of the football.
Under center, Rolliard on 2nd down and 10. On the play action. A throw short, and it's intercepted. Chris Garcia, his 2nd pick of the season. 2nd interception thrown tonight by Rolliard. It's Panther ball. Severely underthrown, Ken Moore.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, look at it here from ground level. You see the play fake rolling to the right. He has his receiver, but he just underthrew it. You have to get it over the linebacker, and that's a tough throw. You have to get it over the linebacker in front of the cornerback.
That was bracket coverage, too, with Nigel King behind Travion White, who was the intended receiver.
Very tough throw to make. You got professional quarterbacks. Some of them can't make that throw.
Blair back to work. Zone read play. Blair across the 35, tippy toes up the sideline. Out of bounds at the 41, a run of 18 yards. Blair closing in on a 100-yard performance on the ground tonight.
I love watching this kid run the football. He runs it tough with authority.
Needs 9 more yards to break the 100-yard mark tonight. 20 rushes, 91 yards. Has a 1-yard touchdown run on 4th down.
Ooh.
And Durden with a flag down.
That's going to be a face mask against Durden. Very rarely do you see it on the running back. Drop him back another 15,
excuse me, yes, absolutely.
The story of the night have been the 4 turnovers committed by the Klein Bearcats.
Face mask not on Durden.
Wow.
Face mask on Klein. They attack 15 yards on.
Oh, yeah,
run.
there it is there. So it looks like it went both ways. Somebody grabbed Durden's face mask first.
And it's usually
and then he retaliated.
Yeah, the retaliation.
So it really should have been offsetting penalties.
Another look.
Yeah, watch the hand right there. There's face mask number 1. And then he grabs the face mask.
So why doesn't that count?
It should. The referees blew it.
Here's Blair again, calling his own number, trying to escape Tyler Roberts, sophomore linebacker, but he couldn't. Musters 2 yards, maybe just with the spot. Looks like it's just going to be a single yard on the pickup. Durden has 15 rushes for 76 yards. He has a 17-yard touchdown run tonight.
We'll see if Klein Oak starts to milk the play clock just a little bit.
Panthers without any timeouts, not like they would want to call one anyway. Klein have 2 remaining. Looking to send pressure from the outside, and Blair is hit hard. Ethan Johnson comes in for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Big stop by Johnson that time.
This is a huge 3rd down. The Panthers have been unsuccessful on 3rd downs tonight, 1 of 10.
That's the only thing they failed in tonight.
Timeout on the field. Got some laundry on the turf and not in respect to any penalty markers. Looks like a towel picked up by the linesman, bottom of the screen. You got 3 Klein Oak coaches at the numbers, barking offensive instructions on this 3rd down and 11 from the Bearcat 37-yard line. 3 receivers in the lineup. It's a handoff. Durden has a lane, and Durden has a 1st down. Michael Hamrick on the tackle at the 24-yard line, a run of 11 yards for Derek Durden, and a 1st down on their first 3rd down conversion since the 1st quarter.
And you see Durden limping to the sideline. He'll take a breather.
Clock moving, coming down to 7 minutes remaining at Klein Memorial Stadium. The deficit is 17 for Klein. Needing to win all 3 of their remaining games, including tonight, to maintain any sort of playoff hopes. Here's Blair in trouble, and he is sandwiched at the 25-yard line. A loss of 1 as we go down to Jeff.
Yeah, David Smith, I saw a smile on his face. I haven't seen that really since about just one quick moment at halftime. But he's got to feel pretty good about where his team is at right now, up 31-14 and driving here. But this is, as you said, a must-win situation really for both teams. And Klein would be eliminated with a loss tonight. Back to you.
So true. A win for Klein Oak keeps pace with spring. Those 2 will meet on November 6th on a Thursday to close out the regular season. What could possibly be as Gonzalez takes it down to the 23. A matchup for the final playoff spot, because it doesn't appear that Westfield, Klein Collins, or Montgomery are going to have any sort of a meltdown in these next 3 weeks. Westfield, when last we checked, were comfortably ahead of Decaney tonight. Montgomery and Klein Collins play tomorrow in a big matchup between 2, 3, and 1 teams within District 15-6A.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of scoreboard watching over the next couple of weekends out here in 15-6A and all the other districts around the state.
Durden stretched out on 3rd down. He is tackled from behind. Down to the 21.5-yard line, and again a marker down.
Yeah, it's been a penalty fest here in the 3rd and 4th period now. Had a really clean 1st period. Very few flags.
And it's funny because, Ken, there's not been a hold tonight.
Now you know what's going to happen.
Now it's a face mask again on Klein defensively. And again, as you can tell, number 23, Chris Howard, the culprit on Derek Durden.
And that's going to be half the distance. That'll make it 1st and 10. They can get a 1st down just inside the 1.
6 penalties, 43 yards called on Klein.
The Bearcats trying to hold them out of the end zone. They've been unsuccessful in doing so here in the 2nd half. Big play in the backfield that time, coming up and making a stop. Hamrick with a big-time hit on Blair.
3-yard loss back to the 14.
Watch Hamrick coming up off that outside linebacker position. He and Howard have made some big plays defensively off the edge tonight.
Panthers now 2nd down and 13. They'll scrimmage from the Bearcat 14. Isaiah Wright will line up to the top of your screen. 3 total receivers in the lineup for the Panthers. Shotgun for Blair. Has Durden off his right shoulder. It's again, Blair spins off a tackle, but is tackled for a loss anyway outside of the 15-yard line.
Clock approaches 4.5 minutes now as
Christian Evans on the tackle.
Klein Oak just trying to milk the clock, protect this 17-point lead, see if they can add a little bit more here on 3rd and long. Again, they can get a first down just inside the 1.
3rd down and 15. Connor Arnson checks in, slot receiver to the bottom of your screen. To his left, Austin Davis. And penalty markers. Play clock was expiring. Now I'm going to say this tongue-in-cheek, but that's Brandon Blair doing his best Colin Kaepernick.
And what do you mean by that, Mr. Silver?
How many times Colin Kaepernick and the San Francisco 49ers, my favorite NFL team, have had to either call timeouts with 1 second to go on the play clock or have suffered delay of games because they can't get the snap off. So after the 5-yard penalty, 3rd down and 20, handoff Durden, he's not going to go anywhere. Bearcats well scout that one. Another loss, this back to the 25, a 4-yard loss.
Oh my goodness.
And perhaps even more will be tacked on as Austin Davis frustrated.
Well, DeVar Kinsey, number 44 of Klein, was involved in that fracas, and he may get called for unsportsmanlike. A little surprised it didn't go both ways, but you were correct. They got Davis. They did not see the retaliation by Kinsey. And so it's going to be 4th and about 39. I think it's safe to say that Klein Oak will bring on the punting unit and Mr. Marcus Ripley.
100 penalty yards. Call on the Bearcats, clock moving with 3:25 and counting. Second punt of the second half for Ripley. No pressure on the Bearcats and a high kick. Panther bounce out of bounds at the 14-yard line, a 26-yard punt. And so the Bearcats with catch up to do and not a lot of time to do it to try to save their playoff season.
Well, Klein put up a good fight tonight. In case you're joining us late, they trailed 10-zip at halftime, but really outplayed Klein Oak in the first 24 minutes. Had a couple of costly turnovers going into the end zone. 2 fumbles at the 1-yard line, 1 for a touchback, 1 return 99 yards for a Klein Oak touchdown. Put the Panthers up 10-zip at the half. The teams exchanged touchdowns coming out of halftime.
And Nick Kohler is back at quarterback for the first time in this second half. He's under pressure, pocket collapses. He is taken down for a sack by Frank Romero.
Yeah, first time we've seen Kohler since the first half.
He has negative 22 yards on 6 sacks tonight.
That's Kevin Rolliard.
Ooh, and a face mask that was missed. Not missed by our cameras, though.
Crew's been all over it tonight.
After an off week next week, this crew will wrap up regular season coverage with a huge District 22-6A matchup between the Pearland Oilers and the Manville Mavericks from the Rig. Can't wait for that one. Pass over the middle is incomplete. Kohler trying to locate Gutierrez. Coverage on the play supplied by Jacob Harper. And it is 3rd down. Going back to the first half, 4 straight incomplete passes now thrown by junior Nick Kohler. Bearcats are 1 for 8 on 3rd downs. They need to get to their own 24 to continue this drive. That game in 2 weeks should be for the district championship. Both teams should be undefeated going in. Manville were comfortably ahead by the end of the first quarter against Sam Rayburn tonight.
Yeah, I think they were up like 58-zip at halftime.
Kohler's passes blocked by Shantz.
We had a couple of passes deflected in the first period, the first half. Had a couple of passes knocked down, so it's going to be 4th down now, and Bearcats are going to go ahead and punt it away.
Shane Hallmark's team likely did not qualify for the postseason. They reached it last year, lost a close one in the first round to the Woodlands Highlanders, 34-31. The Highlanders would bow out in the Region 2 semifinals against the eventual state champion Allen Eagles.
I thought Josh Shantz with the pressure that time.
And now they're going to fake. And the snap goes over the head and out of the back of the end zone.
The center did not get the memo on the fake there.
The safety now gives Klein Oak a 33-14 lead. Shane Hallmark's greatest success as a head coach came in 2008 when he led the Hightower Hurricanes to a state final appearance and a loss to the Allen Eagles 28-21 at NRG Stadium here in Houston. He would come to Klein in 2010 after spending one more season at the helm of the Hurricane program. He spent his first 10 years as a coach at Klein High School. Was also an assistant to Gene Johnson at Klein Forest. During their most successful years, Klein Forest has been down in recent times. Their head coach, Barry Abercrombie, succeeded Shane Hallmark at Hightower High School and helped lead the Hurricanes to a 2012 state championship game appearance before they bowed out to the state champion South Lake Carroll Dragons. That was when Braylon Addison was on the team. Addison nursing an injury up in Oregon. Alonzo Highsmith's kid, who was the quarterback of the 2008 team, is now a scout for the San Francisco 49ers. His dad is, ironically, a scout for the Green Bay Packers.
Absolutely.
So after the safety, kick from the 20-yard line. Returners for Klein Oak standing at their own 36. A pooch kick this time. And Parsons from the 38. Parsons turns it downfield. Has the kicker to beat. And some speed from the kickoff coverage unit. Forces Parsons out of bounds at the Bearcat 15. And that's 2 great returns by senior John Parsons.
Well, these Panthers have a lot of speed on the offensive side of the football as well as special teams. For the second time tonight, Parsons with a big return. But you look at their offense with Brandon Blair and the tailback Derek Durton. And they didn't even have their starting quarterback, Jose Blankenship, here tonight.
And you hope for Klein Oak's sake, even though Brandon Blair has had a good game thrown into action due to the injury to Blankenship. But next week, the Panthers will have to entertain the 3-1 Montgomery Bears, who are 6-1 overall. They get Klein Collins tomorrow. You hope if you're David Smith, Blankenship will be available for that one against the Bears. Blair on the design run, takes it out to the edge and is thrown down at the 15-yard line, right back to the line of scrimmage.
A little surprised that Blair is still in there, and he comes up limping. You can ill afford to lose him in the last 2 minutes of this blowout. I would not want him running with the football anymore. Take a knee, young man. Let's get out of here with a victory.
And I would think Shane Hallmark would just allow the clock to continue to run and not try to stop it should the Panthers take any knees. You wouldn't think they would out of the shotgun formation here. And they'll just continue to run the football with Durden in this time. Picks up a yard, maybe 2 to the 13. The loss tonight for Klein will end their playoff hopes. They will drop to 1-4. bit with the injury bug all season long. 8 starters injured this season. 5 quarterbacks played the position. Their 4th starting quarterback started tonight's game, Nick Kohler. He was called up from the JV last week and played, exceeded all expectations set forth for him in that Klein Collins game, although the Bearcats lost by 17, make that 27, I should say. Here's Durden again. And Durden, he's going to be tackled out of bounds. That'll stop the clock with 31 seconds to go. Line of scrimmage will be the 7-yard line. A gain of 6, it's 4th down. 91 yards on 19 carries. A touchdown for Derek Durden on a 17-yard run earlier in this half.
And again, you see the quickness. And again, he goes to the face a lot with that hand. And that's something he's going to have to be coached up on, because a different set of referees are going to call that offensive face mask against him, and it may come at a critical moment in a big game.
4th and 2, handoff Durden, he has the first down. Taken down at the 3-yard line, a gain of 4. The 4th down is converted, and that will wrap it up. Durden will end with 20 rushes, 95 yards, and a touchdown. Bearcats will not stop the clock. Klein Oak will not run another play. And they get a very important victory, keeping pace with the Spring Lions, who won last night. So both teams are 3-2. They'll play each other to close out the regular season on November 6th. Bearcats will play the string out against Decaney and Westfield. Klein Oak get Montgomery in the aforementioned spring game, which could very well be for the final playoff spot in District 15 6A. As the teams meet at midfield, final score, the Klein Oak Panthers 33 and the Klein Bearcats 14.
Big win for Klein Oak tonight as they forced 4 turnovers by Klein. They really helped shift this ball game into their favor, particularly in the first half. As they come out on top, they go to 3-2 in district play. For Klein, they lose their 4th in a row. They fall to 1-4 out here in 15-6A, and we'll go down to Jeff Power with the player of the game.
Yeah, Brandon Blair joining us now, and I understand you found out this morning basically that you were going to get the start. Give me your thoughts about that, because that was a last-second decision.
Yes, sir. You know, in practice, we just prepare all week and prepare. So when the job comes, no matter what happens, we're ready.
Now, Brandon's only a sophomore. Talk about stepping up big. This is a huge win for you guys. You keep the playoff hopes alive. You haven't been there since 2011. Your thoughts about the way you performed?
You know, I just went with coach's plan and I executed, and it just worked. It worked out sometimes. Sometimes it didn't, but we came back.
The first series, you looked a little nervous out there, but after that first series, you had a big run. Talk about how that game helped the game slow down for you.
Yes, sir. You know, once you break that big run, the nerves just, the nerves calm down, and you're just ready to be calm and just perform and make the play when it's needed.
You motioned to someone in the stands. Who was that to? You kind of gave him a look like thumbs up.
That's my dad. My dad and my stepmom.
You want to shout out to him real quick?
Yes, sir. Shout out to my dad, Brian Blair, my stepmom, Janice Blair, and my brother, Taylor Wilson, and Spencer Wilson, and my sister, Madison.
There you go. Go celebrate with your team.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Brandon Blair, let's send it back upstairs.
All right, Jeff, we thank you so very much. Great work as always, Ken Moore. Big win for the Klein Oak Panthers. What an exciting second half. It was 10-0 at the break, and then a 33-14 final here tonight with the Panthers staying alive in their playoff race.
Yeah, a lot of fireworks in the second half. Credit to Klein for continuing to come back. They scored a couple of touchdowns in that second half after some disappointment in the first half, going in, shut out with a couple of big turnovers going into the end zone. But they kept fighting back in this ball game. But Klein Oak just too strong, too quick, too big for Klein to hear tonight.
The turnovers, the undoing of the Klein Bearcats with the loss. They are now out of playoff. They're out of playoff hopes. That's for certain. They're now 1-4 this season. And for Klein Oak, they get a big one next week against Montgomery. They close up with Spring. That game, again, we've been talking about it throughout the night. Should be and could be, very well could be, for the final playoff spot in this district.
Yeah, both of those teams are going to be tremendous, but they can't look ahead. Montgomery is a very strong, formidable foe that they're going to have to take on next week, and then Spring in a couple of weeks for a possible district championship out in 15-6A. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting coming down the stretch.
And Brandon Blair thrust into the action due to the injury to Jose Blankenship. Had a great game. Him and Derek Durden combined for nearly 200 rushing yards. In the victory for Klein Oak tonight, 33-14 over the Klein Bearcats. For everybody involved, my partner Ken Moore, this is Michael Silvers. So long from Klein Memorial Stadium here in Klein, Texas.
On May 6, 1985, identical twins were separated at birth. Despite their different upbringings, they shared one invaluable trait. They were both born to assist. Chris Paul was destined to become the ultimate team player. Cliff Paul was destined to lead a life of helping others, and that led him to become a State Farm agent. When assisting is in your blood, you know it. Find a State Farm agent born to get you to a better state.